now shift gear to matters Labor Day celebration that we as Kenyans are today marking in the country. We're on public holiday. And today is about the celebration of the achievement with the start of the spring. That is the celebration for today, as well as the celebration of workers and their input, the input of the labor. How important is this day, Karen?
It is the Workers' Day. It is also the Employers' Day. Both parties are supposed to celebrate.
Including us.
Including us, and we are celebrating well. Yes, it's an International Labor Day. It's an international day celebrated by everyone in the world. The issue about Labor Day in relation to Kenya is it's coming at a very good time when the lecturers have been on strike for more than 60 days. They've not been able to agree, despite even the court orders. Both sides are not obeying the court orders. The court ordered the union to sit down and negotiate. The court ordered the government side also to sit down and negotiate. The court also ordered the union members to stop the strike until further orders have been given. But both parties are not obeying the court orders, and they're still, that is sadly enough, but they're still expecting and going back to court to get their rights addressed in court, which is a bit questionable because we have a history of not obeying the court orders. Yeah. And that is one of the reasons. If the court weighed both sides and realized that if you stop the strike and go to a room and negotiate, then we are likely to get a solution. But you're not, this side, the government says is not allowing the negotiations per the court order. The lecturers are not supporting the strike. So that is why will be very hard to end the strike. Again, on the Labor Day, why it should be addressed. Unfortunately, the Atwoli, who has really been helping the workers, I see much in politics of late. Okay. Unlike before, when he was much fighting for the workers. We don't have a history of strike going on for months and months and months. It started with the doctors and we watched. No one was concerned. Actually, initially in Kenya, we did not believe that doctors can go on strike and watch, and us can watch someone dying, but because you've not been paid, you are going on strike. Now the same has escalated. It started with the hospitals. We watched silently. It has gone to the universities. And you know the pillars of any society for growth, it's about religion. If you kill the church and religion, then the society is done. If you kill the education system, the society is gone. And if you kill families, the society is gone. The health sector, we are killing. The church has remained silent in all these things. The education system, we care no more, because our children who went to school, to the universities, they are doing the degree now for almost 7 years, but no one is bothering. So I think it's good the Labor Day is today. Let us see what they are going to address. Okay. But unfortunately, behind the scenes, even despite the court orders, because the Labor Minister, the Cabinet Secretary for Labor, was also supposed to intervene in the lecturers' strike. I don't know they are going to, I don't expect much if they've not been able to follow the court order, if they've not been able to address these issues. The fact that it's a theoretical Labor Day may not help much if they're not willing to perform and work with the workers in a good way. Okay.
But Karen, Karen, we have seen the same thing that you're complaining about, our education system being wanting, our health system is wanting as well. These are issues that we've been carrying on for years. So from where you sit, what would be the lasting solution?
We have a good constitution which is supposed to address all these things. On public governance, the way we govern, there is governance in our public sector. But we've refused to follow the constitution. As much as we want the amendments, yes, but we cannot work if we cannot respect the laws we have, even if we make very serious advanced laws, it will not be held. I think all we need as a country is to do soul searching. Because if I'm taken to the cabinet secretary position, it is about me. What am I going to perform? Am I going to follow the laws? If I don't do soul searching and begin with me and ensure that I respect the rule of law. Failure to respect the rule of law is the only problem we have as a nation. And today when I disrespect the rule of law, tomorrow it will haunt me, and I'll need the law to protect me. I'll need a way. When I'm in power, I may not be able to respect the rule of law. But the moment I leave power, you see the Chiloba case. One, he was not, initially during the petition, he was not willing to obey the court orders. But now he had to run to court. He had nowhere to run to, but he had to run to court for a recourse. But now even the courts could not help him. If you make the society to a society which does not respect the rule of law, we don't need anything else, but we need a change of heart and respect to the rule of law. We need nothing more.
Well, my take is this. You see, when it comes to matters labor and matters social security, of course, you cannot push out the major stakeholders. And when you look at it clearly, this is the central organization of trade unions. majority of trade unions are members of this organization. The other side, we have the Federation of Kenya Employers. These ones are also a majority, and now we have the government. Surely, if right now you state that you want to kick out a majority of the persons who have a stake in the NSSF, really, and we know very well Kenya is a country that is prone to a lot of corruption. And actually, the reason why this has been triggered, it's because there was a case in regards to, I think it was Tena or Tasia, whereby NSSF had bought land and was constructing houses. And when Atwoli questioned why all these billions are being used, then it brought about jitters. And of course, when you are unwanted, people behave like so, you know. Their actions speak louder, that they do not want you. And this is what they are doing. They want to push in an amendment to the NSSF Act so that they can push out the Secretary General of KOTU and, of course, Jacqueline Mugo, who is the chairperson of FKE. And this one will bring about a problem because at the end of the day, any board must have someone who is impartial, okay? Someone who can ask you questions and someone who can point out any wrongdoings that are going. So if the two persons are removed from the board, of course, there will be a problem. In regards to amendment to the labor laws, well, as much as the cabinet secretary is stating out that it's in regards to aligning it to the constitution, well, of course, labor laws were passed by parliament in the year 2007. Of course, following Article 41 of the constitution, we have things that the labor laws should align with the 2010 constitution. However, the only problem that comes, government tries using the amendment route and fix in provisions of the law that curtail really the freedom of laborers. Take an example of what Francis Atwoli was saying about something we call essential services. And you find that these are very archaic terms that were used in the colonial statutes. The government now wants to return. Take a good example of the 21 days notice before striking. I mean, it doesn't change anything because nowadays still notices are given, 7 days, that if you do not respond within this, we will proceed to strike. I mean, a notice, even if they say give us 2 months notice and we are not getting to the root of the problem in regards to industrial relations, persons will always go to strike. And maybe to correct my senior here who said that Atwoli is politicking. You see, Atwoli really has little that he can do. He's the Secretary General of Central Organization of Trade Unions. At the end of the day, these trade unions have their own management powers. So let's take an example. When you look at Constantine Wesonga, the Secretary General of UASU, what he says, he speaks on behalf of the trade union. So Atwoli cannot go and instruct UASU or any other trade union on what to do. So what Atwoli can do is to have communication with the relevant personnel in regards to trying a lasting solution to this. But as things are, we've never found a lasting solution to industrial relations, and that's why we will always have these problems.